Welcome to a world that never seems to pause, a world consumed by noise, chaos, and endless distractions. Every moment feels like a race, doesn't it? We chase after goals, approval, and success, hoping that somewhere at the end of it all, we'll find peace. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what if the answer isn't out there? What if the journey is inward? Today, we're embracing the ultimate act of courage, turning away from the external chaos and beginning the profound work of rebuilding your life from within. This isn't about fixing what's broken. It's about uncovering the parts of yourself you've forgotten or buried under the weight of expectations. It's about rediscovering your authentic self and realigning your life with the truths that resonate deep within your soul. Through the lens of timeless Buddhist wisdom, we'll explore a path of clarity, balance, and purpose. In Buddhism, there's a saying, "Peace comes from within, do not seek it without." This simple truth holds the key to transformation. It teaches us that the life we long for, a life of peace, fulfillment, and connection, cannot be found by chasing what's outside of us. Instead, it's cultivated by turning inward, letting go, and realigning with what truly matters. Take a moment now to reflect. When was the last time you truly listened to yourself? Not the voice of fear or doubt, but the quiet, steady wisdom that resides within you. The Buddhist path invites us to reconnect with that inner wisdom through mindfulness, compassion, and letting go of attachments. Mindfulness teaches us to embrace the present moment fully. By practicing mindfulness, you can learn to quiet the endless chatter in your mind and experience life as it is, free from the illusions created by judgment and comparison. Compassion, both for yourself and others, allows you to release the heavy burdens of anger and resentment. In Buddhism, we learn that holding on to these emotions is like carrying a hot coal. It only burns the one who holds it. Letting go of these burdens creates space for healing and connection. Finally, detachment frees us from the suffering caused by clinging to things we cannot control. It's not about rejecting life's joys, but understanding that everything is impermanent. When we embrace this truth, we find freedom and gratitude for the beauty of each fleeting moment. Rebuilding your life from the inside out is not a quick fix or a simple solution. It's a practice, a daily commitment to yourself and your journey. But the rewards are profound, a life of peace, clarity, and purpose. So take this first step with me. Commit to pausing, to listening, to letting go. The answers you seek are already within you, waiting to be uncovered. Together, through the lessons of Buddhist wisdom, let's begin the journey to reclaim your peace and rediscover your true self. The world around us may never quiet down, but when you find peace within, the noise no longer matters. Are you ready to take this step? Let's begin. Imagine your life as a house, a sanctuary you've spent years building. But what if the foundation is cracked? No matter how beautifully you paint the walls or decorate the rooms, the entire structure remains unstable. That foundation, the core that supports everything, is your awareness. Without it, true growth is impossible. Buddhist wisdom teaches us that mindfulness is the cornerstone of awareness. It's the ability to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment, to witness the inner workings of your mind as they truly are. Ask yourself this: how often do you live on autopilot? How often do you let the chaos of the world dictate your path, pulling you away from your essence? Take a moment to pause. Close your eyes if you need to. Breathe. Now reflect on your thoughts. Are they lifting you up, guiding you toward peace and purpose? Or are they quietly pulling you down, creating barriers to your happiness? The truth is, most of us go through life without ever noticing the patterns that shape our reality. Awareness is the first step to breaking free. You don't have to start big. Growth begins with small, intentional steps. Spend just 5 minutes each day journaling your emotions, Write down what you feel, when you feel it, and most importantly, why. Don't worry about getting it perfect. This isn't about judgment or analysis. It's about honesty. Awareness grows through these moments of truth, these glimpses into the patterns and triggers that shape your daily life. Each insight you uncover is a brick in the foundation of your new life. You begin to see not just the cracks in your foundation, but also the tools you already have to repair them. Mindfulness allows you to take control, to rebuild your life with clarity and intention rather than reaction and impulse. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that awareness isn't about achieving perfection. It's about creating space. Space to breathe, to observe, and to let go of what no longer serves you. Imagine living a life where you no longer feel trapped by automatic responses or fleeting emotions. Imagine the freedom of consciously choosing your thoughts and actions. So start today. Begin by simply noticing. Take those 5 minutes to journal. Notice your breath. Notice your triggers. Be present with yourself in a way you haven't been before. Every moment of awareness is a step forward, a brick placed with care in the foundation of a life built on truth and balance. Remember, the journey of awareness isn't a one-time event. It's a practice, and with every practice you move closer to a life of peace, clarity, and purpose. The world may continue to pull at you, but with awareness, you'll no longer be moved by it. Instead, you'll stand firmly in the sanctuary of your own being. Let this be your starting point. One moment of mindfulness at a time, one brick at a time. Together we rebuild. The house of your life can be strong again, but it all begins with awareness. Are you ready to lay the first brick? Let's start now. Picture yourself holding sand in your hand. At first it feels solid, comforting even, as you cradle it gently in your palm. But the moment you squeeze, tighten your grip to hold on tighter, it begins to slip through your fingers. The more you try to cling to it, the faster it falls away. This is the essence of the Buddhist principle of non-attachment. The realization that holding on too tightly to outcomes, possessions, or relationships only leads to suffering. Ask yourself, what am I clinging to that's causing me pain? Is it a dream of how things should be? A relationship you're afraid to lose? Or maybe it's the fear of failure, the need for control, or the longing for things to stay the same. These attachments create tension within us, like trying to hold on to that sand, only to feel it slipping away. And the tighter we cling, the deeper our suffering becomes. Non-attachment isn't about giving up everything or living without love and passion. It's about learning to let go of the need to control, the fear of change, and the belief that our happiness is tied to things outside ourselves. It's not about indifference. It's about freedom. Freedom from the chains of expectation and the weight of what-ifs. So how do we begin to let go? Start with gratitude. Each evening, before you close your eyes, take a few moments to reflect on 3 things you're thankful for. These don't have to be grand or life-changing. It could be the warmth of the sun on your skin, the smile of a stranger, or simply the fact that you made it through another day. Gratitude is a powerful practice. It shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, from fear of the unknown to appreciation for the present moment. This simple act of reflection trains your mind to value what is, instead of fixating on what could be. Over time, it becomes easier to let go of attachments because you begin to see the beauty and abundance already present in your life. You start to trust the flow of life, understanding that change is inevitable and that clinging only causes pain. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that everything in life is impermanent. The things we hold on to, whether they are people, possessions, or even feelings, are like passing clouds. When we accept this truth, we stop resisting the natural flow of life and start experiencing it fully. Letting go doesn't mean losing. It means gaining the space to breathe, to grow, and to find peace. So take a deep breath and ask yourself again, what am I holding on to that's causing me pain? What would happen if you simply loosened your grip? Not all at once, but little by little. As you let go, you'll discover that the space left behind isn't empty. It's filled with freedom, with peace, with clarity. Non-attachment isn't about running away from life. It's about fully embracing it. It's about finding joy and gratitude in each moment, no matter how fleeting. The sand may slip through your fingers, but the lesson it leaves behind is lasting. Are you ready to let go and step into that freedom? Let's begin this journey together. Life is like a flowing river, constantly moving, always changing. Its waters carry moments of joy, challenges, and everything in between, yet we often resist this natural flow. We cling to what feels familiar and safe, fearing the uncertainty of what lies ahead. But here's the truth. Change is not your enemy. It's your greatest teacher, your most faithful guide toward growth and transformation. Buddhist wisdom teaches us that impermanence is at the heart of all existence. Everything in life is temporary. Every experience, every relationship, every moment. This can feel unsettling, but it also carries profound freedom. When we embrace impermanence, we let go of the need to control, and we learn to flow with life. Instead of fighting against it, picture a tree in autumn. Its branches are full of leaves, each one vibrant and alive. But as the season changes, the leaves begin to fall. Some drift gently to the ground, while others are carried away by the wind. Each falling leaf represents a moment in your life, a challenge, a loss, or even a fleeting moment of happiness. The tree doesn't resist. It doesn't try to hold onto what must inevitably pass. Instead, it lets go, trusting the cycle of life and making way for new growth. Now, take a moment to close your eyes and imagine that tree. Visualize the leaves falling, one by one. As each leaf falls, think of something in your life you are holding on to, a fear, a regret, or even a joy you wish could last forever. Let it fall. Let it go. This practice of meditating on impermanence teaches us to face change with grace and acceptance. It reminds us that nothing is lost forever, and every ending carries the seeds of a new beginning. Over time, this practice builds resilience. It reduces the anxiety that comes from fearing the unknown and transforms that fear into trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the process of life, and trust in the beauty of the present moment. Change is not something to be feared. It's something to be embraced. It's in the moments of letting go that we discover our strength and find our balance. When you stop resisting change, you begin to see its gifts. You realize that every challenge shapes you, every loss teaches you, and every fleeting joy leaves a mark on your heart. The river of life will continue to flow, but you no longer have to feel swept away. Instead, you learn to move with it, to grow with it, and to find peace within it. Ask yourself, what am I resisting in my life? What would happen if I let go, even just a little? Meditate on that tree, watch its leaves fall, and let each one remind you that life is ever-changing and that there is beauty in that change. Let the wisdom of impermanence guide you toward a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. So today, take that first step. Sit with the reality of impermanence. Let it teach you, shape you, and free you. The river will keep flowing. Will you let yourself flow with it? Trust the process. Embrace the change. Grow. Imagine walking a tightrope, carefully balancing yourself with a pole in hand. Every step requires focus and steadiness. Lean too far to one side, and you lose your balance. Lean too far to the other, and you fall. Life works in the same way. We are constantly balancing between effort and rest, between ambition and contentment, between indulgence and deprivation. The middle path, a cornerstone of Buddhist wisdom, teaches us that true peace is found in balance, not in extremes. Take A moment to reflect on your daily life. Are you pushing yourself too hard, chasing goals without pause, running on empty? Or perhaps you've been neglecting your well-being, caught in habits of procrastination or avoidance. Both extremes can drain your energy and leave you feeling disconnected. The middle path invites us to step away from these extremes and walk a steady line, cultivating harmony in everything we do. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that balance doesn't mean doing less. It means doing what truly matters. It's about aligning your actions with your values, finding space for both productivity and rest, and allowing yourself to thrive without burning out. Imagine a musician tuning an instrument. If the strings are too tight, they snap. If they're too loose, they produce no sound. Balance is the perfect tension that allows the music of your life to flow. To bring balance into your life, start small. Look at your daily routine. Are you overcommitted, running from one task to the next with no time to breathe? Or are you stuck, unable to move forward, weighed down by inertia? Begin by structuring your day with intention. Build in moments of mindfulness. A few minutes to pause, to breathe, to reconnect with yourself. These breaks are not wasted time. They are the foundation of your balance. Create space for what nourishes you. Maybe it's taking a walk in nature, spending time with loved ones, or simply sitting in silence. Balance isn't about giving up ambition or hard work. It's about recognizing when to step back and recharge, so you can approach your goals with clarity and energy. And it isn't about avoiding pleasure either. It's about enjoying life, without letting indulgence take over. The middle path reminds us that life is a journey, not a sprint. Just like the tightrope walker, each step forward requires mindfulness, awareness, and care. Ask yourself, where am I leaning too far? What can I do to restore my balance? Let go of the need to do everything and focus instead on doing the right things, the things that truly matter. Remember, balance is a practice. It's not something you achieve once and keep forever. Life will always pull you in different directions, and that's okay. The wisdom of the middle path is in learning to adapt, to notice when you're off-center and gently guide yourself back. So, take the first step today. Pause, reflect, and realign. Find those moments of stillness amid the noise. Walk the middle path with intention and discover the peace and fulfillment that come from living a life in balance. The tightrope may be narrow, but with mindfulness and care, you'll find your way forward. Will you take that step? Let's begin. How often do you find yourself rushing through life, barely noticing the moments slipping by? Days blur together, tasks pile up, and even the simplest pleasures are lost in the chaos. This relentless pace leaves us disconnected from ourselves, from others, and from the beauty of life itself. But there is an antidote: mindfulness. A practice rooted in Buddhist wisdom. Mindfulness teaches us to reclaim these fleeting moments and transform them into opportunities for growth and connection. Mindfulness isn't about stopping life or escaping its demands. It's about being fully present in whatever you're doing, no matter how simple or mundane. It's a way to wake up to your life, to truly see, hear, and feel what's happening around you and within you. Instead of letting moments slip through your fingers, mindfulness allows you to embrace them one by one with clarity and purpose. Think about your day-to-day routine. How many times have you eaten a meal without truly tasting it? How often do you walk, lost in thought, unaware of your surroundings? These are moments we lose to autopilot, but they can become moments of mindfulness. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that every act, no matter how small, can be a meditation, a way to ground yourself in the present and reconnect with your inner peace. Start with something simple. During your next meal, take a moment to slow down. Before you take the first bite, pause. Look at your food. Notice its colors, its textures. When you eat, focus on the flavors, the sensations. Chew slowly. Allow yourself to experience the act of eating, not as a task to be completed, but as a moment to be savored, or consider the act of walking. Instead of rushing to your destination, notice the rhythm of your steps. Feel the ground beneath your feet, the air on your skin. Observe the sights and sounds around you. Each step becomes a reminder that you are here, alive, and present in this moment. Even the most mundane tasks, like washing dishes, can become opportunities for mindfulness. Feel the warmth of the water, the texture of the soap, the smoothness of the dishes in your hands. Let your thoughts settle and focus fully on the task at hand. These small practices anchor you in the here and now, freeing you from the chaos of constant distraction. Mindfulness isn't about perfection or forcing yourself to think a certain way. It's about noticing. Noticing when your mind wanders and gently bringing it back. Noticing the beauty in what might otherwise seem ordinary. Over time, these small practices build a sense of presence and calm that can transform the way you live. Ask yourself, how much of your life are you truly living? How many moments have you rushed through without seeing their value? Buddhist wisdom teaches us that mindfulness is not just a practice, but a way of life, a path to reclaiming control, finding balance, and embracing the richness of each moment. So, take the first step. Slow down, notice. Whether you're eating, walking, or simply breathing, allow yourself to be fully present. The world will not stop its pace, but you can choose to live differently. Mindfulness is the bridge between chaos and clarity, between distraction and peace. Will you cross it? Let's begin together. Think about how you comfort a friend in pain. You listen without judgment, offer kind words, and remind them they are not alone. You show them patience, understanding, and love. Now ask yourself, do I offer that same kindness to myself? When you're struggling, do you treat yourself with the same gentleness, or do you criticize and push yourself harder? Buddhist wisdom teaches us that compassion is not just about how we treat others. It begins within. True kindness flows outward only when we nurture it within ourselves. Self-compassion is not selfish. It is the foundation for a life of balance, peace, and connection. Every morning, take a moment to set the tone for your day with a simple affirmation. I am enough. These 3 words may feel small, but they carry immense power. They remind you that your worth is not tied to what you achieve, how you look, or what others think of you. You are enough, exactly as you are. As you carry this compassion within you, extend it outward to others. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that compassion is a cycle. It grows with each act of kindness, connecting us to the world and to one another. Small acts of compassion can ripple far beyond what you might imagine. A kind word to a colleague, a listening ear for a friend, or even a simple smile to a stranger can change someone's day and your own. Compassion doesn't require grand gestures. It lives in the quiet moments, in the choices you make to show up for yourself and others with an open heart. When you're stuck in traffic, instead of letting frustration take over, practice patience. When you see someone struggling, offer your help without expecting anything in return. These small acts create a cycle of kindness that grows stronger with every turn. But compassion is not always easy. It asks us to open ourselves to the pain and struggles of others, and sometimes to our own. It requires courage to sit with discomfort, to face the parts of ourselves we'd rather ignore. Yet, it is in these moments that compassion truly transforms us. By accepting our imperfections and those of others, we find a deeper connection to the world. Take a moment to reflect. How do you treat yourself when things go wrong? What would change if you spoke to yourself the way you would a dear friend? Each time you choose compassion, whether for yourself or someone else, you take a step closer to living in alignment with your highest self. Start today. Begin your Morning with your affirmation, I am enough. Carry that kindness into your interactions throughout the day. Notice how it feels to give without expectation, to listen without judgment, and to care without hesitation. Compassion is a gift to yourself, to others, and to the world. Through compassion, we discover that we are never truly alone. Each act strengthens the invisible threads that connect us all. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that when we live with compassion, we not only heal ourselves, but also contribute to the healing of the world. So take that first step. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. The cycle begins with you. In a world that glorifies noise, busyness, and endless distractions, silence is often overlooked, even feared. But what if silence is not a void to be filled, but a superpower to be embraced? Buddhist teachings remind us that true strength is born from stillness. It is in the quiet moments, free from external demands, that we find clarity, resilience, and connection to our true selves. Imagine carving out just 10 minutes of your day to sit in silence. No phone, no agenda, no tasks pulling at you, just you and your thoughts. At first, this might feel uncomfortable. We're so used to filling every moment with activity or distraction that sitting in stillness can feel unnatural. But this discomfort is part of the process. It's a sign that you're stepping outside the noise and creating space for something deeper. In this quiet space, your mind begins to settle. Like muddy water left undisturbed, your thoughts and emotions start to clear. You might find yourself processing feelings you've ignored or untangling worries that have weighed you down. Silence isn't just the absence of sound, it's the presence of awareness. It allows you to see your life with greater clarity and reconnect with the part of yourself that gets lost in the daily chaos. Over time, this practice of silence transforms you. It becomes a wellspring of peace, a place you can return to when life feels overwhelming. In the stillness, you'll find the resilience to face challenges and the wisdom to make choices aligned with your true self. This is the essence of Buddhist wisdom, that rebuilding your life doesn't come from fixing the external, but from cultivating strength and clarity within. Take a moment to imagine what those 10 minutes of silence could look like in your life. Maybe you sit in a quiet room, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Maybe you find stillness in nature, letting the sounds of the wind and birdsong wash over you. Wherever you are, this practice is about being present, not trying to control your thoughts or emotions, but simply observing them. As you continue this practice, you'll notice changes, not all at once, but slowly, like the gentle unfolding of a flower. The mental chatter that once consumed you begins to quiet. Decisions become easier because you can hear the voice of your intuition. Stress loses its grip as you discover a deep well of calm within you. Silence isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. In the constant rush of life, it's easy to forget that we are human beings, not human doings. Buddhist teachings remind us that stillness is not about escaping the world, but about learning to live more fully within it. When you cultivate silence, you rebuild your life from a place of strength and authenticity. So, start today. Find 10 minutes. Sit in silence. Let the noise fade and allow yourself to simply be. Remember, the journey to peace and clarity begins within. Silence is your superpower. Embrace it and watch as it transforms your life.